Steven! Wait. Steven, where the hell are... Oh, Jesus, you're right here.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm in your room.
Nothing like doing a split screen when you're in the same location. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Just Your Opinion, man. Steven Langford is in my apartment. What do you think of the place?
It's a nice little room you got here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
There's the famous treadmill in the corner right there.
Oh, God. That's creepy.
Why is it creepy?
Because you have just a treadmill sitting in your room next to your bed. I don't know.
Yeah, so when I get tired off the treadmill, I can just go to bed.
Yeah, okay. Are you going to actually work? Like, do you ever use that thing?
No, because it's loud as shit, and I'm on the top floor, and I would just be a real asshole to the people beneath me.
Yeah, I know. It feels kind of feels like it could just,
It causes a. I tried it one day, and it just caused a ridiculous amount of noise. So it's worthless at this point. Do you need a treadmill, Steven?
No, I don't need a treadmill. I like the 35s, though. You work at the 35-pound weights. Very well done.
All that's in here is basically just TVs and workout equipment.
And a hot dog with a beer.
Yes. So, Steven, this is going to be weird. Either I'm looking at you or looking at the screen. I'll just
look at the screen. It's okay. We'll look at each other even though we're in the same room.
Okay. Ernie, sorry we're 30 minutes late. We had to get things situated in here. So, Steven lost again in our picks a week ago. I think it was close, though, 26-20.
Mm-hmm.
And we discussed this, and I got it all ready for you, Steven. A nice cold hot dog in a mug.
Why does it have to be cold, though?
It's not cold. I heated it up. It's like, it's been sitting out for like an hour.
Really? For an hour?
Well, I had to get shit ready for the show.
Oh, my God.
So
all right.
Hold it up for the people of the podcast audience. I'll describe it.
Hang on. Let me put the mic down. I only got this little table here. I'm going to put the mic down.
Sorry I didn't get nice furniture for you. And also, I'm sitting on a workout bench. You go to Target, they don't give you plastic chairs anymore. What's wrong with this country? So there it is. There is Steven with a Oscar Mayer wiener in his mug of Modelo. So, Breakfast of Champions.
Okay. So for the backstory here, okay, this is a few weeks off, but there was a guy at a Yankee game.
Yes.
Who was caught on video putting a straw through his hot dog and then creating a hole in the hot dog and using said hot dog as a straw for his beer.
Yes.
And it was nasty. This happened like 2 months ago. He didn't do it out of a mug. He did it right away with the hot dog instead of just like actually, eating or drinking it through a mug an hour later. This is a little different. And I guarantee you it's a better quality hot dog than Oscar Mayer. Thank you very much.
Hey,
for that one. Couldn't have gotten a ballpark. Hebrew National, Nathan's.
I prefer all those, but I just work with what 7-Eleven gives me, Steven.
7-Eleven?
You're lucky that I provided you the hot dog.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But you went to 7-Eleven.
They don't have good hot dogs at Whole Foods.
All right.
I would have preferred Hebrew National and Nathan's.
So gross, man.
Okay, here we go. Steven is going to get the hot dog that's been soaked in Modelo beer, and he's drinking the beer through the waiter.
There's not even a hole in the bottom.
Yes, there is. I poked a hole.
You poked a hole?
Yeah. It went all the way through.
It didn't go all the way through. There's not even a hole at the bottom of this thing.
Steven, just stop complaining and drink, please.
I'm trying. I'm just sucking on a hot dog at this point. That doesn't work.
Well, why don't you just do like a swirl and eat the hot dog while you drink the beer?
Oh my God. Fine.
Here we go.
Oh,
What's a street strider?
Street strider?
Yeah.
Oh, that's that was Lowe's thing. The elliptical and the treadmill all in one.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
This is what? So eat the hot dog and then
Yeah.
oh God.
Or drink the beer around the hot dog, whatever you prefer. Oh yeah, nothing like a 8:30 hot dog. All right, Steven, let's get right to it. So Raiders, facing 0-3 today as they travel to Nashville.
No, are they?
Yeah, they are.
Mm.
They probably got good hot dogs there, good barbecue and everything there.
Yeah, probably. Oh,
So Hunter Renfrow is out. He got concussed on that fumble, so he will not be playing today. Denzel Perryman is out as well.
oof.
Didn't even notice him in the game last week, to be honest. We could have used him, spying Kyler Murray.
Perriman?
Yeah.
He was out last week too.
He was? Shit.
Yeah.
Well, that explains it. Didn't even notice. Well, it's funny how I didn't notice him then.
Yes.
Anyway, Josh Jacobs is questionable with an illness. I'm assuming it's flu-like symptoms or whatever, because if it was COVID, he would be out. Did not travel with the team on Friday, and then he took a private plane to Nashville yesterday. And all indications are this morning that he will play. So that's a huge lift. But the other side of the ball, Taylor Lewan out for the season for the Tennessee Titans. If you remember a year ago, Chandler Jones had 5 sacks against the Tennessee Titans, and then kind of didn't do much the rest of the season, just 5 sacks more. But Derrick Henry, no 100-yard games this season. The Raiders haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher since Week 17 of last year against Jonathan Taylor and the Colts. So, Steven, before we pick these games, just what are your thoughts as we go into this game today?
I mean, this is the one for the Raiders that, proves like, hey, we're not total losers if they actually win this game. Like, if you lose this game and you go 0-3, not only just to an AFC team, but one of the worst teams in the AFC, like the Titans have established themselves as that.
You think so?
As of right now, they don't look very good.
Yeah.
And their point differential is like minus 35 because they lost that last game by so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's bad. So if they lose this game, that's just that's when sweeping judgments can be made about like the future for this team. Like, Derek Carr, McDaniels, is it really going to work? Is it going to be worth paying him $40 million? Or it's going to be the talking point of something magical needs to happen by next week if they want to have any chance of doing anything this season. Because like, you go 0-3 and you lose to the Titans after the way that you lost last week, that's where Raider fans are going to start to question everything.
I get that. And usually when you go 0-3, you don't make the playoffs. I think it's been a handful of teams that have ever done that. Keep drinking that beer, Steven.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna forget about that. But as far as making sweeping judgments, I don't know. It could just be that if they do lose today, that you're just not going to compete with the rest of the teams in the AFC West. Still got to see how the Broncos look. Was not impressed with them whatsoever with the 16-9 victory over the Texans.
Yeah.
By the way, we talked about Russell Wilson doing the runner pass thing.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see his new video yesterday?
No.
Okay, so it's him and Sierra and just a bunch of their friends, but they're all like in, I guess, Russell Wilson's house. And then Russell Wilson's trying to like sound cool, and he's like, "Hey guys, so let's look through my wardrobe, and my friends here are gonna tell me which ones are cool and which ones are bad." So then he starts. We don't see them, but he starts scrolling on his phone, and all of his friends go, "Yes, no," kind of like him telling everybody to say run or pass. It looked as if Russell Wilson just went on the street and paid a bunch of random people to be his friend for a TikTok.
Really?
Yes.
I wouldn't be shocked if he did that.
There's like a guy wearing like a Russell Wilson like logo hat, and I'm like, this looks like a posse in like Popstar. Never Stop, Never Stopping. Like random people you pay, like, be my friend for this video.
I need to watch that. I haven't seen it yet, but
I'll show it to you later.
Also, like, dude, when you think like he can't do anything else that's just more corny and kind of cringy,
He's corny
among social media and just among like being on the sideline, because he's always been corny on the sideline. That run pass thing is nothing new. But like, when you think just he can't go over the top, it's kind of like the Raiders losing. Just when you think they can't lose in any worse fashion, they manage to do it. Nicely
done to put it all together there.
Yes, it's the same thing with Russell Wilson and his cringy social media posts.
Yeah, actually, we had great sound bites this week. Joe Staley on with my pops and Lund, just straight up saying, "I hate Russ."
Yeah,
just corny ass dude.
Yeah, I mean, hasn't it like been made known that his teammates just?
Well, yeah. Earlier this week,
don't like him?
Yeah, KJ Wright went on Richard Sherman's podcast and basically said that he got special treatment over the defense, which always is going to happen when you're a high-profile quarterback. But they seem to take exception with it.
Yeah, it was the idea of like even Tom Brady still takes some lumps over in Bill Belichick's locker room with the Patriots. They showed it on Man in the Arena.
You're knocking shit off my.
I dropped the headphones. There was echo in the headphones. I'm hearing you in the real room. Like, we're doing this in real time, Derek.
Okay,
we're just trying things out. But this is what's gonna stop the half echo that's coming through here on the thing. So what was I saying? Yeah, it's just like when Russ though doesn't get any crap at all, even after his second or third year, like that's not enough time. I know you'd won a Super Bowl by the second year, but that's not enough time to be elusive of any criticism. I don't know what word to use there, but it's just screw. I don't like him either. Not a big fan.
Yeah.
Who is?
We'll talk about him more as we break down. Okay.
Dude, the aftertaste, like beer's fine. It tastes okay at the beginning, and then afterward, it has this nasty taste at the end of it. I don't know what it is. It's like salt.
Yeah, there's a lot of sodium in hot dogs.
Oh God.
We'll talk more about Russ later, but as far as this game, Raiders at Titans, Derek Carr 3-0 at Tennessee. They did lose that game a couple years ago when AJ Brown. Remember that? He had a long touchdown. And the Titans just kicked the Raiders' ass in Oakland. But every time that Derek Carr has gone to Tennessee to play the Titans, he's won. So I don't know if that means anything today. He won't be with his safety net, Hunter Renfrow. But this seems like the type of game where you got to feed Devontae Adams. It doesn't have to be 17 targets, but just be more comfortable giving him the ball. It looked like he wasn't comfortable at all. I understand he probably was in tight coverage with Byron Murphy. I didn't look at the all-22. But it just looked as if Derek Carr was just kind of forcing passes to Hunter Renfrow at the very end there, and then forcing passes to Devontae Adams. So
it was a very well-timed hit on the Cardinals too. Just on the fumble recovery on Isaiah Simmons, immediately just scoping it out. We've seen Hunter Renfrow make those catches all the time. We just don't see it where he's got someone barreling into him at 100 miles an hour and forcing a fumble. Screw last week, but just get it to Adams and get it to Waller. That's all you need to do. Don't worry about anything else. Just Adams and Waller and Jacobs. That's all you got to worry about.
And with the injury to Tyler Lewan, can we get a sack from Chandler Jones this week?
Something.
Yeah.
Anything from Chandler Jones. Max Crosby is the only one doing anything consistently on that defensive line. Jones has gotten into the backfield a couple of times, but hasn't finished anything off yet. Still need to see more from him.
Agreed. Then we got the Sunday night game later tonight. Jimmy Garoppolo filling in for Trey Lance the rest of the season. More reports coming out this morning, even though this has been stated. Adam Schefter doing his classic stuff where he takes a report that's already been out there and then making it his own. Months ago, a guy named Greg said that Jimmy Garoppolo was going to be traded to Washington, and then Nick Wagoner had that same report a week ago. Today, Adam Schefter tweets something out as if it's his own, saying that Jimmy Garoppolo was going to be traded to Washington if it wasn't for his shoulder surgery. So I've heard that checks out. The Washington seems to they seem to have wanted Jimmy Garoppolo and then settled for Carson Wentz when things kind of fell through. Also heard the Colts were interested, but the shoulder surgery kind of backed everybody away. So imagine if the Niners did trade away Jimmy Garoppolo and they didn't have him, and now it was Brock Purdy or Nate Sudfeld playing quarterback the rest of the way. Niner fans would be up in arms. It all worked out for the best in the end. Jimmy Garoppolo, either he stays with the Niners next year because you don't know what's going on with Trey Lance, or he finds a new team.
Well, the thing I'd say is we've heard this in the Bay Area. I think this is more news for Commanders fans. They didn't know about this months ago. They might have learned about this last week as Tim Kuhn and Wagoner both wrote about it. But
who's the first guy?
Tim Kuhn. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Don't know.
Keown.
Right.
But
new guy on the radar.
Him and Wagoner are both tag teamed on that article. But I think it's more news for Washington fans personally.
That Carson Wentz was the backup plan.
That Carson, yeah, and they could have had Jimmy Garoppolo, and it's just a sense of could you imagine if the Commanders had Jimmy Garoppolo right now, what they'd look like with Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel and Jahan Dotson. They probably, I don't know if they look like the same because Wentz isn't that bad, but
no, Wentz is playing great, but at the same time, there's been questions about his leadership and being one of the guys in the locker room.
Guys just don't believe in him.
No, apparently even this week.
Easy.
The smell.
Yeah, the smell's getting to you. I'm sorry that the smell is getting to you, Derek. It's
a bad mix. It's a bad mix of wiener and beer. Yeah, especially mixed together.
Yeah. Drinking them at the same time.
Ugh, man, you're gonna have bad problems later on.
Thank you.
Carson Wentz admitted this week that he plays against his former team today in the Eagles, that he could have handled things a lot better when he was quarterback of the Eagles. I guess all those reports that he wasn't a good teammate are true. Kind of hard to believe, even though he kind of portrays himself as Mr. Nice Guy. But yeah, I wonder if Jimmy Garoppolo, knowing that Kyle used to work for Daniel Snyder, was like, dude, you're really going to send me there? And I'm sure Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't know this to be true or whatnot, I'm sure he didn't want to play in Washington. And I'm not saying that he made, like, he forced the shoulder surgery as a way to get out of there, but I'm sure it was, appropriately timed so he wouldn't have to go there.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like Jimmy's kind of like playing this season as a way to stick it to Kyle Shanahan in a way.
Well, he did have those comments this week. You see those?
He just see it even before this week, like after that last game. It's just the style of play. Like he's going back to a time in 2017. Like he's taking subliminal shots. It feels like it's Shanahan, and that when he was asked, like, is that used as motivation? Like the fact that they basically said we're going to be done with you. He said, I wouldn't say so, but it lights a fire under you. I could tell you that. Which
well, yeah, of course,
is a nice way of saying, yeah, it does provide motivation for me. I was pissed.
I think it's a mix. I think it's a mix of him liking those guys, Kyle and John, but also being like, you guys didn't think I could do this. Okay. Yeah. Well, it makes for interesting, theater as far as what the future will hold. I was thinking about this. The whole backstory with Jim Plunkett back in the 80s when he took over for the Raiders job?
No.
So Dan Pastorini was the quarterback for the Raiders in 1980.
Mm-hmm.
He was the new guy that they traded for. It was a straight-up trade. Pretty much a high-profile quarterback trade. Dan Pastorini got traded for Ken Stabler, so Ken went to Houston, and Dan Pastorini came to the Raiders. And the backup quarterback was Jim Plunkett, who was well known as the first overall pick for the Boston Patriots and played for the Niners and was known as Bust. Then Dan sucked. Or actually, I should take that back. Dan did not stink or suck. He just got injured. And then Jim Plunkett took the reins over and then led the Raiders to a Super Bowl. Al Davis wasn't a huge fan of Jim Plunkett's. He always tried to find a way to get him benched or find someone better than him, and that's when he drafted Mark Wilson. And Mark Wilson was supposed to start the 1983 season. Jim Plunkett started it, even though Al didn't want him to, and went back and forth the whole season, where eventually Jim Plunkett took the job over in the playoffs and then won his second Super Bowl. That's the only other situation I could think of when it comes to a guy that had a job, having, basically being told we don't want you anymore, and then getting that job back and then winning with that team.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And it all worked out in the end, but man, I just don't think 49er fans are as big a fan of Jimmy Garoppolo as Raider fans maybe we're feeling about that.
Or Jim Plunkett?
Yeah.
Well, what's funny to me is that every team, wouldn't you say that most fan bases, like their favorite, like if you have a okay quarterback, like their second favorite player is the backup quarterback, just to yell all the time, like we want that guy to play.
Yeah.
Like for years, I thought it was ridiculous, but every post-game show when Derek Carr had a terrible game, then Raider fans would call in to get Matt McCloughan to play. And I was like, guys, Matt McCloughan's a great guy, but he's not a good quarterback. I just think that it's funny to me that, I don't know. I don't want to go down this road again and just go to Trey Lance, get hurt by Kyle Shanahan's play calling. I just think that you see what this guy has done. This is the best case scenario. Imagine if Trey gets hurt and you have to play with Nate Sudfeld or Brock Purdy. This is the best case scenario.
Maybe for this season, but for the future, though.
That's a discussion to be had. I understand Niner fans, anger and frustration, but at the same time, this is what it is for this season. Let's complain in 2023.
Well, that's what they're going to do. It's going to be even worse.
Let's hold the complaints until February.
I mean, you could complain about it now. Like if they're still complaining about it 2 weeks later, then I'll be asking why, because it's still a week. You haven't played your next game yet. Like, what if Garoppolo loses today?
He very well could. He's done it
tonight.
Yeah. So then what are you going to do? Ask for Brock Purdy to start?
I don't know what 49er fans are going to do, man. But
yeah, they're a crazy bunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of James Garoppolo, he is 1-4 versus Russell Wilson head-to-head. It's been said, ad nauseum this week of how Russell Wilson's been great against the 49ers. 17-4 in the playoff, including the playoffs. So he's had dominance over this team, but this is a different team. It sounds like Jerry Jeudy will play and Patrick Surtain will play, so the Broncos will be somewhat at full strength, but also their offenses just look terrible.
Yeah.
Only getting 16 points through the first 2 weeks in each of their games. And yeah, I mean, Nathaniel Hackett looks, it's funny to me that we got two sons of coaches, Kyle Shanahan going back to where his dad had dominance. We know Mike Shanahan well from kicking the Raiders' ass all those years. Nathaniel Hackett, his father, Paul Hackett,
Mhm.
head coach of USC and I believe Pittsburgh or maybe Purdue. I'm actually not sure the other team, but his dad is a well-established coach in football. And Nathaniel Hackett, we all know it's been publicized about his terrible clock management in back-to-back weeks. He screwed up the ending of the Seahawks game, and then last week he can't decide whether he wants to kick a field goal, and then at the very last second changes his mind. Then he gets a delayed game penalty, makes fun of himself in the press conferences. But when you do 2 weeks in a row, that's just too much for me. So yesterday he decided to hire Jerry Rosburg, who is been coaching in this league for 40 years, and he's known to be good with in-game decisions. So he's going to help Nathaniel Hackett out with that. But
That's weird.
it's a little crazy to do that 2 weeks into the season.
That's
Like,
weird.
You should know your shit before you become a head coach.
You're a head coach. You're supposed to know how to manage these games. You don't need an advisor. It's not like you have a get back coach or whatever where he's like,
That's a Sean McVay's guy.
yeah, he's not trying to like get a guy to hold his hips and, pull him back as he's trying to get onto the sideline or get onto the field. Like, it's not like that. This is an advisor telling you how to do your job. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just,
But-
that's an admission of just
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm not good at this. And that's a large part of the job is managing the game.
I would say that it's not terrible because I think every coach in this league has a guy like that. Like Kyle Shanahan this week said he has a guy that helps out with, what's the likelihood we'll convert on fourth down, and he helps out with those decisions.
Right.
But
Analytics guys. They do
Yes.
have analytics guys for sure. So
Yeah,
maybe
but-
this is what that is. Like the Colts had that. I know the Colts had that up in the booth
Yeah.
where they had a bunch of guys with computers.
yeah, it's just guys that help with in-game decisions because there's so many things going through your mind when you're a head
Mhm.
coach. But at the same time, it should have been a hire you made before the season started.
Yeah.
Like you can't just oversee that and be like, "Oh, we'll figure it out," and then just be like, "Damn, I really don't know how to manage a game."
Right.
Right. So yeah, what do you think about this game tonight, Steven? Just before we pick the game, Broncos, 49ers. thoughts?
I mean, I think the Niners should crush them, to be honest. I don't think the Broncos are a very good team. I don't think Russell Wilson has it anymore. He's overthinking.
Yeah.
He's overthinking everything. Like there's been too many videos that are shown where he's just like missing reads. It's more than just like, hey, I'm not completing these throws. It's just like missing a wide open receiver. The offensive line is decent, but it just feels like Russell Wilson kind of made a lateral move. Like he just got a better defense. That's what he did. Like the offense, I don't know. I mean, these guys that he has at wide receiver, Jerry Jeudy's good, but he's never been able to stay healthy.
Yeah.
I'd take DK Metcalf all day over Jerry Jeudy. Cortland Sutton, he's a good enough receiver, but I'd take Tyler Lockett over Cortland Sutton. And now you're like Noah Fant was a solid tight end, and now he's over there in Seattle. You don't have him. I don't even know who your tight end is, to be honest. I don't know who that is for the Broncos.
Albert O, as Joe Buck would call him.
Albert O.
He's got a
Oh.
big long last name.
Yeah. Okay, I'm seeing that now. So like, I mean, he's a big dude. I don't know if he's more of a blocking tight end or a pass catching tight end, but
By the way, try to pronounce his name real quick.
Okwegbunam.
Okay, that's more effort that you put in than Joe Buck did in week 1. You just called him Alberto. You can't ask a Broncos PR guy how to say his last name.
Okwegbunam. I wouldn't be surprised if it's that. Okwegbunam.
I'll look up his.
OKWUEGBUNAM.
They should have his pronunciation. Okay, hold on. Let me see. If I can-
Pronunciation guide.
Yeah, they should have it on Pro
Broncos website.
Football Reference. They don't even try.
Oh god.
On his Pro Football Reference, it just says Alberto.
Really?
They usually have pronunciation. Whatever.
Well, hang on. Normally the teams post it too, though.
That's true.
So,
Hold on, I'll look it up. We're both pulling it up.
yes.
Albert. Okay, hang on.
Pronunciation guide. Okay, I'm looking down here.
Or just look at the pronunciation. Okuwebunam.
Okuwebunam.
Yeah.
Okuwebunam.
Yeah.
Okuwebunam.
Hey,
Okuwebunam. All right, I got that.
at least we put the effort in. That's all that matters.
Okuwebunam. Interesting.
Before we start picking these games, Steven.
Mhm.
But
yeah, no. The point being, it was a lateral move. It was a lateral move for Russell Wilson, and the Niners and the Seahawks weren't even a competition really last year. Now this year, it's just I think it's going to be the same type of thing. And I mean, maybe the travel will have something to do with it. Like it's their first game over there in Broncos country. Let's ride. Maybe they'll actually ride with old Russell Wilson. I don't know. It's football. Anything can happen. But from what I've seen these first 2 weeks, like it seems like the Niners have the advantage of pretty much everywhere except quarterback. I'm not going to sit here and say Jimmy G's a better quarterback than Russell Wilson right now.
And he gets George Kittle back. George Kittle will make his debut today.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it seems like the Broncos have faced pretty good defenses in the first couple of weeks. I mean, the Texans have a better defense than people thought. Seahawks still have a pretty good defense, but the best defense will play so far is the Niners.
I'll say it: the Seahawks defense stinks. They were bad against the Niners last week. They were bad.
They broke down in coverage. Obviously, Ross Dwelley was wide open on a touchdown. Yeah, they definitely didn't play their best.
They had one game where they played well, and
that was Russell Wilson.
That was just against Russell Wilson. Other than that, like they didn't have Shelby Harris in that last game against the Niners, who's a big part of that defensive line. But other than that, like I don't know. I don't think the Seahawks defense is formidable at all.
I wouldn't say they're formidable, but I think they're better than average.
You think so? I think they're very average.
Actually, I take that back. Let me see how they play today.
Yeah.
Let me see how they play.
Yeah.
The Seahawks playing today. Oh, the Falcons. Yeah, that'll be a real test with Marcus Mariota, and they're actually surprising good offense. All right. Before we pick these games, Thursday night, a fun game between the Steelers and Browns. God help out with some fantasy points with Amari Cooper. Really good. Dallas could have used him right now. I also have David Njoku, but he was on my bench. And then I have the Browns defense. So, yeah, we're acting a pretty good night. But as far as the game itself, it was all right. I don't understand why people are freaking out over Mitch Trubisky being benched already. I thought he played fine. I wouldn't throw Kenny Pickett into the mix right away, right now. But any thoughts on the game itself, Stephen?
Wait, Trubisky was benched?
No, as I texted you again, I love that post-game show.
Right.
So it was Andrew Whitworth and Ryan Fitzpatrick talking about, I don't think that Trubisky needs to be benched. And Richard Sherman, who's going to be a TV star, just feeds right into it going, he's bad. They got to bench him.
It's true.
Do you think they got to bench Mitch Trubisky already for Kenny Pickett?
Yeah.
Why?
Because even with the defense like the Steelers have, like the defense
isn't playing well right now because they're not.
They did the first week. They got to play at an incredibly high level.
Don't you yell at me in my own home.
You're going to have to play at an incredibly high level if you want to win it all with Mitch Trubisky. Like, that's just it. The offense doesn't do anything. Kenny Pickett at least might throw downfield. Like, Trubisky's not good. I know they paid 2 years, $14 million or whatever it was for him. And you're not doing that to just put a rookie in, but I think they should. Like, there's no point in going forward with Mitch Trubisky.
All right. Yeah. I don't see the point of going to a rookie quarterback right now, but
you have that old school mentality, though. Like that old.
I'm an old man.
That old school mentality of like, hey, we don't need there's no point. These guys can develop on the bench, and you're probably right. But Steelers aren't going to win any games with Mitch Trubisky. I'd rather just take my lumps with Kenny Pickett than just lose games with Mitch Trubisky and have the offense go nowhere.
Well, their schedule gets a lot tougher from here, so they may just make that move in time. But I don't think it's right to do it right now.
Yeah, I mean, did you see Kenny Pickett in preseason? I know it's just preseason, but Kenny Pickett lit it up.
Did you see Trey Lance in preseason?
Barely.
He played though.
Yeah, but he only had like 5 possessions.
I'm just saying that
Kenny Pickett had an entire half of football at least every single game.
Yeah, and Justin Fields was lighting it up throwing, and they're afraid to make him run. I mean, they're afraid to make him throw right now. All he does is run.
True.
I just think that the preseason is not a good indicator of what we'll see in the regular season.
I think it's been a pretty good indicator of getting ready, though.
Has it, though? I mean, a lot of guys sit, and we've gotten a lot of sluggish starts the season.
But a lot of guys actually play, and they didn't get off to sluggish starts in the season.
Well, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen.
Yeah.
No, you're probably right. You may see more teams play their starters in preseason going forward.
I think you will.
Yeah.
I think I definitely think you're going to, especially with this 3-week thing going on.
Yeah. As far as the Thursday night game, the outcome was well in hand until Nick Chubb didn't pick up a 4th and 1. It was reviewed, it was a 3rd and 1, but they didn't go for a 4th and 1. They punted back, and I totally get that with the Browns' trepidation of a week ago blowing a 13-point lead with less than 2 minutes left.
Yeah, so trusting their punter.
It was the right move, football sense, but. Now I pay attention to these games because we're picking the games and spreads and over and unders and everything, and it was a 6-point spread. Then they do the Stanford band shit, where I should say Cal band. They decided to do a bunch of laterals at the end, and of course, it's scooped up and scored by Denzel Ward. That rhymed. You don't have to kick an extra point anymore, so when a touchdown happens with no time left and that ends the game, there's nothing to be done. And that killed the spread.
Yeah.
It killed the over-under. It killed, I guess, a super boost. I'm not familiar with that.
A super boost?
So that's like something that FanDuel was offering or Pat McAfee was on his show. And
isn't a super boost like a parlay?
Yeah. So there was a bunch of things where it was the spread. It was the over-under. Chase Claypool, his yardage total was screwed up on the lateral. So he had I think it was 35 yards. He lost that.
Oh.
And it's a calamity of errors on the final play. So FanDuel sent out a tweet saying, well, that wasn't the way we planned things.
Yeah.
Anyone that decided to do Pat McAfee Super Boost, you get a full refund.
Ooh.
But a lot of people, and even Al Michaels, who's been doing it for years, said on the last play, well, that was important to some people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was the first time where I've noticed that in an NFL game. I watched the Bad Beat segment with Scott Van Pelt and Stanford Steve, but that was the first time where you texted me ahead of time being like, this is about to be a bad beat.
Yeah. Like it already was. The people who maybe I don't know if anyone grabbed that game because it was plus 5.5 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody grabbed that at +6 or something maybe for the Steelers. I don't even know if the number was going there. Actually, the number was going down. It might have been +6. I don't know if anyone caught it there, but you were screwed on that if you took a +6 from the Steelers. But also if you teased it down, you had it down to +11, for example. Let's just say you took the +5 and you said, you know what, I'm going to tease that. I'm going to make it +11. Yikes! And they lose by 12, and that over under was already. It was already torched, so that stunk.
Yeah, what was it, 48 or?
No, 38.
38, yeah.
38.5, I think.
Yeah.
So that over-under was already done, so you were screwed there. But then you had the point spread, which just ruined everything. You would have at least gotten a push on that point spread if you got it at -6 or +6 rather. But my God, just terrible all around.
I think it's going to lead to more announcers now that the NFL is okay with gambling. It's just going to lead to more people like Al Michaels.
Oh, they do. They do it.
Of course they do, but it was always a no thing in the past. Al Michaels would always allude to he straight up said it for the first time where he wasn't wink wink. Back in the day he'd be like, well, the people in the desert would be upset about that one.
Yeah.
Now it's oh damn, the over just got screwed.
Yeah. No, it's going to be more included in broadcasts and give you more of a reason to watch, I think.
Well, we were talking about this with Fortinball a couple weeks ago where I don't think we're there yet. I mean, obviously, it's a very still traditional broadcast. We just have the only thing that's changed in a few years is now we get rules analysts in the booth. I wonder if there will come a day where we get fantasy analysts and gambling analysts in a broadcast. I'm sure that would piss off a lot of broadcasters, play-by-play guys. But I think we're going down that line, or it may just be an alternate broadcast.
I think just betting. I don't think fantasy. Fantasy's been in play for too long. They would have already done something about fantasy if they wanted that on the broadcast. Betting, maybe. Betting is going to give people a reason to watch. It's just oh, watch out. This guy needs, like you were talking about with Claypool, this guy needs X more receiving yards, or with I don't know, with the over-under. Oh, watch out. If the defense gets a stop here, then you know what? Maybe the over-under could be the over could be in trouble. That kind of thing. Well, give more people a reason to do it.
I just have a hard time believing that we're going to see Kevin Harlan going, oh, and he scored, and I am out of money.
Yeah, he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. There's going to be an analyst on there, though, at some point. Maybe it will be Fortenbaugh one day. You never know.
It might be. Also, I'm glad he saved the mustache for us, but what the hell? Shaved it off?
He lost a bet.
Mm,
Yeah, a bet on the show,
makes sense.
which I'm sure he was happy
He does
to do.
love to bet.
Yes, which I'm sure that he was happy to do. Honestly, it looked good, but
Yeah.
I'm sure he was happy to be rid of because he grew out the mustache once. We had that.
I remember that.
We had that Movember situation with the
Did Cody have the mustache too?
Cody already had the mustache.
Of course he did.
Yeah, no, we had the gosh, what was it? It wasn't Movember. I forgot what it was called, but we had like posters all up around the
It probably was turned into a T-shirt
not the studio.
because Joe loved turning segments into T-shirts.
Yeah. No, well, yeah. I mean, that's what you do, Derek. You know,
I
you gotta
know.
monetize things.
I realize that now. I was a little curmudgeon back in the day.
but sounds like you still are. But no, we
No.
had like posters with silhouettes of famous mustaches like posted all around, not even just the studio, but like around the building, because everyone around the building was doing it.
Was this the old studio or the new studio?
New studio.
Oh, really?
And Fortenbaugh didn't want to do the mustache, but then he did.
Yeah.
And I think he found like, hey, I kind of works. You know, and then he probably did it again.
Kind of like this.
Yeah.
All right, let's pick these games and let's start with the two
Oh.
teams that we were talking about in our segment that Steven has lost. And he's drinking a. Let's go with that, buddy.
Do I have to drink the whole thing?
An Oscar Mayer wiener in a Modelo beer in a nice mug.
That's just so gross.
I know. Well, hey, I expect that to be all gone by the end of the show, mister.
Yeah, all right, fine. Oh my god, dude, my
All right.
stomach's already churning. I put the music on, by the way. You haven't even heard it.
Oh, has it started?
Yeah, it's
All right,
already
here we go. Let's do wins or wangs.
Or a hot dog and a beer.
There you go. All right. Vegas Raiders at the Tennessee Titans. The Raiders, believe it or not, are 2-point favorites, and the over-under is at 45.5. Steven, where are you going?
Yeah, I'll take the Raiders to win this one. Yeah, I know they're giving the Titans two, but I think the Raiders still win. I think that's a low point spread. I think the Raiders are going to have a bounce back game today, even in Tennessee. The over/under is a tough one because the Raiders' run defense has been kind of suspect. These last couple of games, it's been pretty good. The first one against the Chargers, and the last one actually wasn't too bad against the Cardinals.
They had
too.
trouble with
They just had trouble with Murray.
options and pitches.
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually going to take the I'll take the under on that one. I don't see this
Mm.
going under, or I don't see this going over 45.5. So I'm going to take the under.
Are you
I'll take,
laying the points?
yes, I'll take the Raiders.
Okay. I'm going to do the same. I think it's time the Raiders win a game.
Yeah.
And I think the Titans are a worse team, to be honest. At least that's what I think on paper.
Oh God. Oh.
All right. Oh, God.
That went right through the microphone.
Oh, that was fantastic. All right. I'm taking the Raiders. I'm going to lay the points. It's 45.5. I think that we're going to get a high-scoring game between both teams because both defenses are kind of suspect right now. So I'm going to take the over.
All right.
All right.
Interesting.
I love that you burped on the broadcast and I snorted because I laughed so hard.
Yeah.
All right. Niners at Broncos.
Mm.
Niners are 1.5-point favorites. Actually, we have a ton of road favorites this week. I think it's like a record for the longest time.
Interesting.
So Niners are 1.5-point favorites, and the over/under is at 44.5. Steven.
Yeah, I'll take the 49ers in this one. I'll lay the points with the 49ers. And as far as the over/under, I'm going to go under. I don't think these offenses are going to provide a ton. I think the Broncos defense isn't too bad. And like you said, Pat Surtain is coming back. That's a big one. He's a game changer. I mean, if they could stop Deebo Samuel, that'd be another thing. I don't think they're going to, but I think they're going to stop the rest of the offense. So, yeah, give me the under, but I'll lay the points with the Niners.
I'm going to get a little crazy this week.
Ooh.
There's a lot of games that I am going against the conventional wisdom. So I know that the Broncos offense has not played well, and they're playing the best defense they played so far this season. But just being in Mile High, I got a feeling that the Broncos are going to show up tonight. I think it's going to be a very low-scoring game, and Jimmy G just thrown back in the fold. It's one thing to play the Seahawks, another thing to go on the road and play the Broncos, where he had one of his worst games in preseason, but that's preseason.
Oh, that's right. That
3 years
that,
ago.
that was a 5 interception game.
It
Or
was,
was that the 5? Not the 5 interception. That
No,
was
the-
5 interceptions in
it was
practice.
5 interceptions in
Then
practice.
he threw the interception. He was like 0 for 5 or something.
Yeah,
that
he had
preseason.
a Blutarski 0.0 quarterback rating.
Yeah, I remember that. That was one of my first times on the air. That's when the real like craze about Jimmy Garoppolo started to show.
I remember
Like, after one season, it's like, oh man, he's so good in 2017. He 5 straight wins. Oh my God. In 2018, he gets hurt. In 2019, it's like, what do we have in this guy? And then everyone's going insane. Then
Yeah.
what do you know? He's serviceable enough to bring him to a Super Bowl along with that defense. So pretty crazy, man.
That was so when the honeymoon ended. I remember when I was living in LA, I was like, oh, people hate Jimmy now. So I'm going to take the Broncos to win.
Wow.
So I'm going to have them cover, obviously, and I'm going to take the under. Be a very low-scoring game.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, moving on to the other Week 1 slates. So we got – oh, this is a sexy one, Steven. We got the Texans playing the Bears. Ooh, la la. The Bears are – I don't know how
That's
they –
about as appetizing as a hot dog and beer.
Oh, yeah. So, how is it, by the way?
Halfway done.
All right, there we
I'm
go.
not eating the hot dog. That's just nasty. But you did a terrible job at poking the hole in
Dude,
the hot
I took
dog.
a knife and
You
went
did a
all
very
the way
you,
in.
you did a very nice thing, getting it all set up, but you did it wrong.
Hey,
Like,
A
did you
lot-
not see how he did
a
it?
lot of circumcision
Poke-
guys don't go through all that effort that I went through today.
Poke the hole with the straw, and then a hole will be created. Not just stick a knife into it.
Is that not a good enough hole for you?
It's not a hole.
It closed up.
It's just a cut
Oh my-
in a hot dog.
It's like a lake frozen over, and then it just froze back up.
Yes.
again? It's impossible. You're a liar. All right. Texans at the Bears. The Bears are 3-point favorites, and the over/under is at 39.
Oh man, you go first on this one. I want to see what you do.
I'm going to take the Texans.
Hmm.
I actually think that they have been a good. Even though they haven't won a game, they had a good showing against the two of who we thought were going to be good teams this season. Their defense is playing really well. They tied with the Colts, and then they almost beat the Broncos. So I'm going to take the Texans to win this game. And 39, I'm going to go under. I think both of these offenses maybe we could get like a 9-6 type of game today.
Yeah, this is the type of game that you stay away from if you're actually betting. You really don't want to even touch this game because it's like you don't even know what's going to happen.
Not with a 10-foot pole or a 10-foot hot dog.
Just you know what, I get where you're coming from with the Texans defense being better than expected, but I could also see this playing out like Browns Steelers where it's just a comedy of errors has this one going over. So I'll take the over. What's the point spread again on this one?
3.
3. All right, I got 3 as well. Man, the Bears are favored by 3. They are at home. Yeah, I'll take the Texans to win outright in this one.
All right.
But I'll take the over. Yeah.
Then we got the Cincinnati Bengals going to the New York Jets. Joe Flacco starting again today, but next week it could go back to Zach Wilson.
Joe Flacco. Did you see his little mic'd up thing?
Yeah, where he said, "I won as a Jet."
I won my first game as a Jet.
Hey, good for him, man. And the Bengals are 6-point favorites. They lost to the Jets a year ago, but down 0-2. I have a feeling they're going to play up to their potential, as they have not done this whole season. I'm taking the Bengals to win.
Yep.
I am going to lay the points, and I'm going to say what. So the over/under is at 45. The Bengals are favored by 6.
Yeah.
I'm going to go under.
Okay, this is a great game to bet if you are betting, because you can't expect to bounce back from the Bengals. This is about as low of a point spread as you would probably get between the Bengals and the Jets. Normally, if the Bengals were like playing up to their potential, you'd probably be looking at, I don't know, maybe you might be looking at like a point spread of over 10. You know what I mean? Like 10.5. Like that's what it would normally be. So I'll take the Bengals. I'll lay the points with the Bengals. And yes, I'll take the under as well. 45.5 is a lot of points for this game, and I don't think the Jets are going to put up that much. So yeah, lay the points with the Bengals, take the under.
The Fighting Dan Campbells look to keep their momentum going as they laid a whooping on the commies. And they go to Minnesota today, which Minnesota had a rough outing against the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday night.
Yeah.
The Vikings are favored by 6, and the over-under is at 52.5. Steven?
Yeah, this is a tough one, man, because I don't want to take the Vikings. Like, that's a lot of points just to lay with the Vikings. I think the Lions are a damn good team. Aiden Hutchinson is a beast coming off the edge. I think he leads all rookie pass rushers with
Dude.
9 pressures.
He had 3 sacks in his second game, but still impressive.
Yeah.
All in the first half.
In the first half, he's an absolute stud. First off, I'm going to take the over on that. I know that. I'm definitely going to take the over because it seems like every Lions game is going to hit the over this season.
Okay.
I still think the Vikings are going to win, but I'll take the Lions at plus 6.5. Right? That's the point spread that we're looking at.
6, I have.
Just 6. Okay.
It could all differ.
Yeah. All right. Just plus 6. Give me the Lions. I think it's going to be a close game. I don't think they're going to win. And
Yeah.
I think it's going to take the over as well.
I'm going to copy you. I feel the same thing. I think it's going to be a closer game than the 6 points. So I'll take Minnesota to win, but I'm going to take Detroit to cover, and I'll go with the over.
Yep.
All right, then we got the New Orleans Saints after a stinker in the Superdome. I don't even know what the hell they call it anymore, but they lost to the Buccaneers for the first time in a while in the regular season. And they go to Charlotte to take on Baker Mayfield and the Panthers. The Saints are 2.5-point favorites. It's an over-under of 41. And it sounds like Alvin Kamara will be back today.
Seems like that's kind of a low point spread, doesn't it?
Well, the Saints haven't put up a lot of points except for that first game against the Falcons where they had to come back in crunch time. But
Right.
yeah, they offensively they looked inept last week.
Yeah. I don't know. Going up against the Panthers and they're, going on the road. Yeah, you know what? Just lay the points with the Saints and just give me the over. Just give me the over.
Alrighty,
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Saints to win. It's 2.5. Yeah, that's too short of a spread. I'm gonna do the same thing. Lay the points and go over. Just copying you.
Yep.
Then we got the Carson Wentz Bowl. Philadelphia comes to Washington, and Carson Wentz, the backup plan to the commies. If you remember a year ago, Jalen Hurts beat the Washington football team and then went off the field and then had a bunch of Eagles fans collapse on the railing.
Oh, that was that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So hopefully they've actually I think I saw a tweet where they've made sure that won't happen again today.
Good for them.
Yeah, good for them. The Eagles are 6.5-point favorites, and the over/under is at 47.5.
Well, I will take the over. That's number one. And I'm trying to think of, this Washington defense is just not good. So give me the over, but I'll take the Eagles are just rolling right now.
Well, who's winning?
Yeah, I'll take the Eagles. Just lay the points with the Eagles. Actually, you know what? No, give me the plus 6 for the Commanders. The Eagles are winning, but I think the Commanders can cover.
Damn. I was going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm going to take the over, Steven. I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles to win, but I do believe the commies cover.
Yeah, I
The
think it's going to
whole
be
cover.
I think it's going to be like a backdoor type of thing
Yeah.
where it's like they're down 2 scores like late in the fourth quarter and somehow Washington has the ball with less than 2 minutes and Wentz drives downfield. Then they try and kick an onside kick. Eagles recover. Then boom, 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 boom.
Exactly. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom. The Baltimore Ravens got their hearts broken a week ago against the Miami Dolphins, and they're taking on the New England Patriots. The Ravens are 2.5-point favorites, and the over/under is at 44. Steven.
Well, give me the under, first of all, because it's Bill Belichick going up against Lamar Jackson. So give me the under there, and I'll take the Ravens to win and just lay the points with the Ravens. I think they're going to win by more than a field goal, but I think it's going to be under. I don't think the Patriots offense is going to do much. I don't think the Ravens offense is going to do much. It's going to be a low-scoring game.
I think that 3 or 4 years ago, I think it was the 2019 season, where Lamar Jackson ran all over the Patriots. I think Bill Belichick has figured, I wouldn't say he's figured him out, but he definitely is not going to let him do that again. And while Lamar Jackson has had a great season so far passing, I see the Patriots winning. I just like Bill Belichick finding ways to figure out how to stop Lamar Jackson. So
Interesting.
I'm taking the Patriots to win. Obviously going to cover.
All right.
And I'm going to go under on the 44.
You take the next take the next pick as I sip on this nasty. Ugh.
Just enjoy it, Steven. Enjoy
I can't, man. I'm like, my brother just texted me, have some confidence in your picks. I'm like, I don't have any confidence in anything right now when I'm drinking this.
I have confidence in life. I'm
just trying to get
I'm
through-
drinking Oscar Mayer juice in a mug.
I'm just trying to get through the day.
The Chiefs at the Colts.
You're up.
So here we go.
Dude, what is happening with the Colts?
So
What is going to happen today?
the Colts have looked like dog shit.
Yes, they have.
Or should I say horse shit? They
Nice.
uh
It took me a little bit to get that, but I got that.
drink your mug.
Good one.
They couldn't do anything offensively until the fourth quarter against the Texans. Then they came to life, but their guy Ricardo Blankenship screwed them. Then last week they just looked terrible against the Jaguars.
Oh my God, the taste of the hot dog is like at the bottom.
Just as bad as the Colts offense.
Oh.
The sounds you make. Good Lord, man. Hold it together. I have a feeling that things are going to change with them coming back home to the old Lucas Oil Stadium. The Chiefs are 5.5-point favorites. The over/under is 51.
Gonna wash this down with some coffee.
Ew. That's worse. But something tells me today that the Colts are going to not only cover, I think they're going to win. I don't.
What the hell are you talking about?
Things happen, Steven, in a crazy NFL season.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, eventually the Chiefs' offense has to do more than what they've been doing.
Regress to the mean is what you're saying?
In a way.
Because they have been like an elite offense, like elite.
They have been, and they've been effective the first 2 weeks, but I feel like eventually defenses are going to have to force them to go downfield a little bit and take the short passes away from them.
Yeah, and the Colts are pretty well equipped to do that. I know the offenses look like crap,
Yeah.
but that defense is still, DeForest Buckner and Darius Leonard.
And Stephon Gilmore, who I could see taking away some good, like, put him on Travis Kelce and see what happens today. So I am, against my better judgment,
Make a good point.
I'm going to go a little crazy today. I'm taking the Colts to win,
Wow.
and I'm going to go under on the 51.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take the under on the 51 because I don't think the Colts offense is going to put up that much. It's probably not going to be that high scoring of a game.
No.
Man, do the Chiefs win by a touchdown? I don't think so. So you know what? Give me the Colts to cover that +5. I kind of like that. I kind of like it for being I don't know. I feel like it's a bounce back week for a lot of these teams. First 2 weeks like the Bengals, Raiders, and now the Colts, like 3 teams that were expected to, weren't expected to be 0-2 to start the season. Well, Colts being 0-1-1, but still same thing. Might as well be a loss. So I could see the Colts bouncing back, but I see the Chiefs winning it in the end. So, yep, covers, but Colts cover. Give me the under.
Okay.
Chiefs win.
And then we got the probably the most exciting game of the week one, or the morning slate. Buffalo Bills, dominant, probably the best team in the NFL through the first 2 weeks, but they have a plethora of injuries today.
Yeah, so give me the update here, because I saw like a ton, and it was hard to keep up.
So Jordan Phillips, their defensive tackle, is out. Ed Oliver, their other defensive tackle, is out today.
And a beast.
Yep. Tre'Davious White's been out. He tore his ACL late last season, so
Right.
he'll be back in the middle of the season.
Right.
But they're without him today, and they're without both of their starting safeties, who we know them from a year ago, complaining about losing to the Patriots when they ran over and over again. But they're probably the best 2 safeties in football as far as a tandem.
Yeah.
So Micah Hyde is out for the season, which is a huge loss
That's
because
huge.
he's a great player. I'm sure they'll find someone to fill in well, but you take him out of the defense, and they're not going to be the same. But they'll still probably be a great defense. Probably rely on the pass rush a little bit more with Von Miller. We're going down to a little bit of half a hot dog there.
I just got asked, what is that you're drinking? It's a hot dog with Modelo, and it's supposed to be
it's a glizzy beer,
It's
baby.
supposed to be a straw, but Derek failed at making it a straw.
I punctured a hole.
He did not.
Anyway, so Micah Hyde's out for the season. Jordan Poyer is out for this game. So that Dolphins receiving core will not be put to the test as much as they would have been with a full, healthy Bills team. The Bills have beat the Dolphins 7 straight times. 7 straight times.
Damn.
So I think the Bills are the best team in football, but not today. I think the Dolphins are going to end the streak. I'm picking them to win the game. This isn't going to stop the Bills' offense. I think they score a lot of points, but I'm going to take the over at 53.5. The Bills are favored by 4.5. I'm taking the Dolphins to win, even though Bills Mafia traveled very well, and I'm taking the over.
Yeah, you got to take the over on this one, especially with Tyreek Hill. Even the Ravens safeties couldn't take care of Tyreek Hill. Like, you think the Bills safeties are going to be able to take care of him? So yeah, give me the over in that one. Although I still see the Bills winning this game, I'll take the Dolphins to cover. I think it's going to be a really close matchup. Like, the Dolphins are a good team, man, and if they're down, I mean, we've seen it. If they're down big, they're just going to play big. Like, they're not going to be conservative with it. They're not going to, try and meticulously move the ball down the field. No, we're going to do this in 2 or 3 plays. Like, we're not going to waste any time. So, give me the over in it, but I'll take the Bills to win and the Dolphins to cover.
Then we got the late games. Jacksonville going to the Chargers, and we don't know about Philip Rivers. Good Lord, we don't know about Justin Herbert.
Right.
He broke his some cartilage with his ribs, and it sounds like he is pushing to play. Hopefully, to get a pain injection. So that's a lot. Even with Chase Daniel, I think they'll be all right. So I'm going to take the Chargers to win. They're favored by 3.5. The over/under is at 42.5. I'm going to take the Chargers to win, but I am going to take the Jags to cover, and I'm going to go under 42.5.
Wow, that's a very specific bet. So the Chargers are gonna have Justin Herbert.
It looks like it's trending in that direction, but he is a game time decision, as the term 100% is. Like, it could go either way.
Man.
And considering the Chargers' history with rib injections, as you know, with Tyrod Taylor 2 years ago, hopefully this goes well.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, there's no way they still have that same team doctor.
No, he's
right?
gone. He's gone.
Okay, yeah.
I think so.
You know what? You've been choosing a bunch of upsets. I'm gonna go with this one. I think the Jags are gonna win this one outright today.
Okay.
I think they are. I think
Over under?
Trevor Lawrence looks pretty good. God, I'll take the over just to be safe, but if Justin Herbert's actually in. Like, if Chase Daniel's in, then I'd be way more inclined to take the under. But just give me the over on that one, and I'll take the Jags to win this one.
All right.
You know, you realize that I've taken the Jags every single week so far.
You have.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm so high on the Jags. I just am.
Hey, they could be the best team in the NFC South.
You never know.
Falcons at the Seahawks. Basically a pick 'em. The Seahawks are favored by 1, and it's 42.5. Steven?
Seahawks favored by 1. Let me pull this one up here. Where is it? Why do I not? Oh, okay. Oh, this is fun. Yeah. Oh, give me the Falcons to win.
Nice.
I think the Falcons are going to crush them.
Crush them.
Yeah, I think they are. I think they are. And give me the over on that too. I think the Seahawks could score some points. Falcons going to score a lot of points, but I think the Falcons are just going to crush that Seahawks defense.
I can see that as well, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Seahawks here. I think that'll be a high scoring game, but I'll give me the Seahawks. I'll lay the points, obviously favored by 1, and I'll go over.
I'll just let you know I'm not drinking the rest of that beer. We gotta.
That's fine. I don't need you all.
I've gotten to the hot dog portion of it. It is nasty, and I got the entire day I got to spend up here. All right.
You don't like that hot dog flavored water?
Oh. Ugh. This just made it even worse.
What, just do my Fred Durst
I'm
impression?
thinking of the Limp Bizkit now. Like, I'm actually drinking hot dog flavored beer when it means something totally different.
Yeah, 100%.
It's so
It means it literally.
I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, I am drinking a beer with a hot dog.
Rams at the Cardinals. Van Jefferson is out for 4 weeks. That's it injury-wise. The Rams are 3.5-point favorites, and the over/under is at 48.5.
You go first on this one.
I'm gonna take the Rams to win. I wasn't impressed with the Cardinals a week ago. It's just the Raiders shitting the bed there. Even though Kyler Murray, great player, but I think it's more on the Raiders just not having a pass rush there.
Yeah.
So
If one of those penalties doesn't happen, then you're seeing a totally different game.
but I do think it's going to be a close game, so I will take the Cardinals to cover. But I am going to go over 48.5.
What did I take in the What did we both take? Raiders Titans.
We took
We took the Raiders to win.
Raiders
But,
to win, lay the points. You took under, I took over.
okay, all right. I'm feeling a lot better about that under now that I've seen the starting O line for the Raiders. Colton Miller at left guard or at left tackle.
Okay.
Alex Bars at left guard. Never heard of him. Dylan Parham at center.
Dylan.
Jermaine Illuminor at right guard, who's just been struggling at right tackle. Then Thayer Munford at right tackle, who I liked a lot better. Like, I'll take my lumps with Munford, but Illuminor at right guard and Alex Bars at left guard. I mean, Jeffrey Simmons isn't hurt, right?
Nope.
Yep. So boy, watch out, Derek Carr. You're gonna get not gonna be good for him in the run.
Maybe a lot of running game today.
Yeah.
But avoid the pass. All right.
Yeah, just run to the opposite side of wherever Jeffrey Simmons is lined up in the interior, and just oh god, that's going to be brutal.
Rams at Cardinals, Steven.
Rams Cardinals. I'm sorry,
No, you're all good.
totally got sidetracked.
3.5 for the Rams.
Yeah. I'm feeling. I'm not feeling this Cardinals team at all. So I'll take the Rams. Lay the points with the Rams. They're going to win big, and then the Cardinals. Yeah, you know what? Give me the over though. I can see
40.5.
I could see the Cardinals scoring some points, but yeah, give me the Rams.
All right, and then we got the Packers at Tampa Bay. The two goats. Love that. A lot of injuries today for both teams. Mike Evans is out because of the suspension. Chris Godwin's out. We don't know about Julio Jones. Cole Beasley, one of our favorite players, is back with the Buccaneers.
They're taking a shot on him.
There you go. Nicely done. The Packers will not have, it sounds like, or it's already been determined, Sammy Watkins is out. Christian Watson is out, so a lot of Romeo Dobbs and probably Randall Cobb and Alan Lazard. The Buccaneers are 1.5-point favorites. Steven, how you see this?
Yeah, just give me the Buccaneers, and I'll lay the points with the Buccaneers. I really don't think Green Bay is as good as advertised. And, give me the over in this one. Just give me 42 is just it feels like a low number, at least for these two guys. I don't know. It could be the complete opposite, but it feels like this should be a game that you take over, and I think the Buccaneers are going to win by much more than just that 1.5.
I feel you. I feel the same thing. If this game was in Green Bay, I probably would go the other way, but I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to lay the points, and I'm going to go over as well. And then the Monday night game, Cowboys. We already did this Monday night game. So Monday night game, Cowboys at the Giants. Basically a pick 'em. The Giants are favored by 1 point, and the over/under is at 39.
Oh boy. Give me the over because of these running games. I think it's going to be like, kind of like Steelers and Browns, where the Browns run game is what really got it done. And the Steelers just didn't have much of an offensive line. I think, just give me the over on that one. And I'll take the Giants to win.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll take the Giants to win. And whatever. Lay the points with the Giants. I mean, really, it's just a pick.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm going to take the Cowboys to win. I think that their defense is playing well, and I'm not
Very
sure
well.
about this Giants offense. So I'm taking them to win, and I'll go under. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. And there you have it. So Steven did a very good job doing his end of the deal. How much of the beer and the hot dog did you get to?
Yeah, well, it's down to the bottom quarter of it.
Okay.
I drank more than half.
I think that's good enough.
Oh God, I can't drink anymore, dude. It's the taste is just nasty.
I don't blame you.
Why would that dude do? Why would he do that? Why would
you probably had a better beer and hot dog?
I don't care what type of beer and what type of hot dog you have.
Well-
Using a hot dog as a straw is unacceptable, and especially in a beer when you don't need a straw. in a
Well,
beer.
have you ever had a hot dog and a beer, like just doing that together? Like not physically together, but eating a hot dog and then drink a beer?
Yeah,
Well, you just cut the middleman out. You put the two together today.
yeah, that's not. No, there's no middleman in eating. There's a hot dog and a beer. You don't need the two at the same time. This isn't, I'm not Joey Chestnut. I can't just have hot dog and liquid. Like, food and liquid just don't mix to me. At least solid food and liquid. Like, I can't do it. Ugh. Oh,
Fair
gross.
enough. And that's a great quote there. There's no middleman in food.
It's facts.
On that note, enjoy the games today. Steve and I are headed over to the Oakland Athletic Club. Have a great day watching football. Steven, say what you always say, my friend.
Oh, it's just our opinion, man. And our opinion is fact when it comes to the hot dog and the beer. Just don't do it.